Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Healing Honey. So I want to continue this talk about mental health, okay? And let's talk about emotional intelligence. How can we understand our feelings? How can we better understand our emotions as we dive into our feminine energy? And if you're doing inner work or you're interested in healing, then you have to become in tune with your inner world, which includes your feelings and your emotions. That's right. There's nothing to fear. To me, it's exciting, but that's probably the Scorpio and Pluto placement, which, if you're alive watching this, if you're watching this, chances are, right? It's so funny how the cosmos align to our life in every way, right? Nothing's by accident. And so, taking this deep dive within ourselves, doing the shadow work and learning about ourselves, we're going to come in very close contact with our emotions, our feelings, and there's nothing wrong with you. There's no feeling that's too different from anybody else. Like, it's one love, one consciousness. And so, I guarantee you, however you've felt in your life, whatever type of feeling or emotion you've gone through, other people have gone through that exact same feeling. Maybe different situations caused it, but that feeling is universal and we're connected to each other. And so there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to hide from, run from. Where are you running to? Everything is in the light. Nothing is hidden. Like it's there for a reason, but you can take so much. You can take a stance for yourself, empower yourself, and become the hero and the star of your own story, of your own movie, which is your life. When you start to understand your emotions, not suppress them, but gain the wisdom as to why they're there. So let's talk about understanding your emotions. What's one of the most common emotions that we all have as humans? And let's talk about it. Okay, anger. Anger is a big one. Okay, it's very human. And if you get mad, guess what? Everybody gets mad sometimes. I don't care if you're a monk. I don't care who you are out there, a nun. One of my tias in Mexico is a nun, okay? Anybody, because it's a natural human emotion. So you never want to vilify emotions. You never want to think that you are not allowed to feel however you feel. The reason your emotions are there is because they need to be there. They're teaching you something. Anger is just a surface feeling, but the real root like where anger stems from is pain. Okay, and we feel pain for a reason. When something makes you angry, really it's hurt you in some deep way. But anger is just like the cover up feeling of like getting mad, feeling some type of rage. And of course, when we don't deal with our feelings, when we don't recognize them, they can branch and they'll spread and expand into bad behaviors that don't serve us or others. We're connected. Anything you feel, anything you think, anything you do, it's affecting not just yourself, but everyone and everything else. And so that's why it's our personal responsibility to look at our feelings and learn how to manage them. So when you feel angry about something, really you were feeling hurt. So we don't want to tap into that vulnerability many times because you might feel weak. But feeling pain is part of the human experience. Why did it hurt you? And that's going to teach you who you really are. When you look at, well, why was that painful for you? It's going to teach you about your own needs. You were hurt because you felt in all honesty and truthfulness that things should have went a different way, because that's what's in alignment with your soul. How do you truly feel? And so when things don't go that way, okay, it makes you angry, or you feel pain, and then that stems into anger. And then if you don't deal with the anger and the pain and you don't resolve it, then you can branch into things like revenge or spite or, whatever stems from anger, horrible things, rage, hurting other people and attacking other people, all because you don't want to look at the pain within you because it makes you feel vulnerable and weak. So this is the danger of not facing our emotions or even beginning to understand them. Okay, so how do you resolve anger? Release it. Every emotion, it's trying to be expressed. It wants recognition. It needs validation. So don't suppress it, but also don't hurt anyone. Be honest with yourself and look at why you feel sad. It's going to tell you about yourself. What are your morals, your values? How to be in alignment with be in alignment with integrity, right? Honor how you feel. Okay, what's another human emotion, right? Understanding our emotions, emotional intelligence. Okay, guys, so another very common natural human emotion is sadness. Yes, sadness, pain, sadness, and it's okay. Like our pride can be out of control on earth, which is our ego. You want to humble yourself and recognize when you're feeling sad. So many people are walking around with sadness that's built up, but instead ask yourself what is causing you to be sad, and that's how you can feel better. Because when you can be honest with yourself on what causes you to feel sad, now you're going to rise when you address it and make a change. You can't just see that something is making you sad and don't do anything about it. You illuminating that is going to cause you some relief, right? You'll start to heal that way, but then the change, that's where the power is. That's the masculine energy. At that point is then, okay, making a new decision once you're honest on why you're feeling sad. And sometimes life hurts, but you guys, pain is the biggest catalyst for change. We as humans are so stubborn. And so pain, you're feeling pain for a reason. Something needs to change, right? But if you refuse to acknowledge you feel sad, if you try to be prideful and you tell yourself or pretend that nothing is causing you sadness, you're going to stay in grief. And again, your emotions, they branch out, right? So think about like a fruit tree. That's why spiritual texts, it talks about like the fruits of the spirit, but there's also fruits of the ego. And worse thing, like more things that don't serve you will happen when you don't get to the root, right? So we're like a tree. Think of yourself as a tree. And inside, what's nourishing the tree to grow, it's your emotions, your inner world, the inside of the tree trunk and the roots. That's what's going to produce the fruit. Sadness. It's okay to feel sad, but you don't have to stay stuck in there. I think some people are afraid to acknowledge any sadness they feel because they think that that means if they get in tune with that, if they recognize they feel sad about something, they're afraid that means they're a sad person, that they have a sad life, that they'll stay sad forever if they allow themselves to feel it. But that's not true. Do not be afraid of your emotions. When you can see that you feel sad about something, feel the sadness. Let yourself feel sad about it, because you're honoring yourself in this way. And it's going to teach you how to have compassion for self and really be there for yourself. You need your own love first. Before you try to get the love from outside of the world, you need your own love. And so let's say something made you sad. You guys be careful. Don't get lost in grief. And that's why something as simple and basic as sadness, if you have too much pride to admit that you're sad, the fruits of that, it'll get worse. When you're carrying sadness for a long time that you haven't been able to look at or been choosing not to look at, then that's going to turn into grief. It's going to turn into trauma when you're carrying it for a long time. So instead, feel how you truly feel. If you feel sad, cry it out. Cry it out. Because why do we cry? Nothing is by mistake. Nothing is by accident. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong and powerful. Honesty, integrity, authenticity with yourself first. It doesn't matter what the world thinks or says. It matters how you feel and being there for yourself so that you can make changes. And so that's why there's balance. You need the feminine energy to recognize your feelings. You need the masculine energy to take actions to be different. But if you just try to take actions to change, but you haven't recognized your true feelings, they stay with you. And then they're going to show up again, because you can't mock God. You reap what you sow. Like, don't do that to yourself. Don't bulldoze how you feel just for a change. Like, you got to do both. You got to do the inner work and the outer, because the world is focused just on masculine energy, just on the action. But what about within? And so balance yourself. Be there for you. Feel the emotions. Don't be afraid of your own self. Don't be afraid of your own feelings. You're not your feelings. They're teaching you something so that you can make the change. Now you're balancing yourself. If you don't deal with sadness, it turns into grief. It turns into depression. So address it and release it. And that's why kids can teach us so much before they hit puberty, right? Young kids. My daughter's 7. I learn from her every day. If she is, however she's feeling, she lets herself feel it. There's no barrier. There's no filter. There's no pretending, acting. It's authentic. And that's how kids operate. They're going to say what's on their mind. They're going to feel how they feel. If I take away her tablet and tell her to take a break, she might get upset and feel sad. Maybe she'll have a little mini tantrum or be upset. Like, she's gonna feel how she feels. I'm gonna allow her to, but we've been conditioned that we can't feel, and parents are trying to control. We try to control other people, other people's emotions, our own emotions. We don't allow ourselves to feel. And that's why I created that art piece like 2 years ago, and it's on my Etsy store. It is safe to feel. You're safe to feel. You're human. Your feelings are teachers. They're teaching you. They're helping you. And this is how you're in tune with yourself. You're on yourself. You take care of your mental health. You release it, okay? Because these feelings that we don't like are the ones we want to release. We want to feel happy. We want to feel peaceful. We want to feel good. To feel those things, you got to release the ones that don't serve you. But when you know why they're there, now you have a better chance of sustaining that happiness and of sustaining that inner peace, because you've eliminated the cause of the sadness. You've made a change on why, what was causing you pain, what was causing you anger, what you were holding on to, that what you were grieving over. You've done that work to just see it and feel it and express it. So now you release it. When you express, this is the greatest form of release. So whether you want to cry, whether you want to scream, whether you want to talk, whether you want to write, however, maybe you want to do physical activity, like however you want to express that emotion, let it flow through you. And this is your feminine energy, baby. Surrender. Allow. Feminine energy is about allowing, letting go, release, and just allowing. And in this way, you feel free. Understanding our emotions. Okay, so another common human emotion that you can thank puberty for is anxiety. And of course, this is tied to fear. And this is what a lot of people are dealing with subconsciously, or something feels uneasy. That's the anxiety. And all of us can be susceptible to anxiety. It's an emotion in a sense. And so how to release it is to invalidate it. Fear is a liar. Fear be having you scared. You don't have to be scared. It depends what the situation is. Like, so everything is serving. Maybe you're at the edge of a cliff. You don't want to fall off. That fear is going to creep in, and it's a warning sign, right? Like, don't go off the cliff. Protect yourself. Right? And so that's why everything serves. Fear can serve you to keep you alive, keep you protected. But sometimes fear is irrational. Sometimes it's misplaced. It's showing up as anxiety, and there's nothing to fear. You don't have a reason to feel afraid. It's just your mind playing tricks on you. And so now this is your opportunity to eliminate the fear. Fear is there to protect you, right? But again, just examine why you're afraid, and that's going to teach you about yourself. You can make healthier decisions for yourself, more conscious choices, so you can become more self-aware when you examine why you do what you do, why you make the choices that you do. And if the fear is irrational, like, make a new choice. And if it's substantial, if there's reason behind the fear, like, do you want to listen to your fear? Because it's either yes or no. If you're about to fall off a cliff, all right, yeah, you're afraid to take some steps back. That makes sense. You want to stay alive. But if it's something that, like, let's say you want to go in a new direction in life, but you're afraid of the unknown, then that fear is just keeping you stuck. It's not saving you. It's hindering you. So examine why you make the choices you do. But fear is a natural human emotion. It's a survival instinct, but when we become more aware of our emotions, emotional intelligence, understanding our emotions, now we can make choices that serve us better, right? Okay, so anxiety. Anxiety stems from you focusing on the future or the past instead of the present moment, creating all these scenarios that have not happened. That's what anxiety is. It's you using your mental power in the wrong way. And now fear emotions are rising up. Instead, invalidate it. Start focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want, or better yet, focus on the present moment. In spirituality, they'll teach you about visualizing and affirming things you want to manifest, using your conscious power with intention to serve you. So focus on what you want, focus on the best case scenario, your dreams manifesting. But so many people will start to focus on the negative. We'll just start to focus on the worst case. We'll think of the worst case, but it's a spiritual walk on earth. So when you start to awaken, you'll see that there are forces that are trying to infiltrate your mind to have you focusing on the worst thing. And you'll think it's you, but in a way it is. You have choices to make. If you tune into the news, for example, they're shooting fear into the collective 24/7. It's not them, it's not the newscasters, it's the spiritual forces on earth that are behind the scenes, that own the corporations, that are working for darker forces. And so straight up. But instead, like, if you don't want to tune yourself to fear, anxiety, then have some sovereignty and make some healthier choices for yourself. Because you recognize the impact of your emotions, you guys. To take it one step further, your emotions, you want to be in tune with yourself, because what you're feeling, you're like a magnet and you attract more of. So you want to move with intention and be feeling high vibrations, because it's going to serve you and it's going to serve everything around you. And so the way you feel happy and peaceful and blissful is when you release like the bad feelings, right? So it's all about understanding our emotions, knowing they're natural, seeing what they're teaching us about our own being, empowers us to co-create our life with intention. We make choices, right? We recognize our own power. We can co-create our life with the universe. So this is what I wanted to share with you on our mental health and understanding our emotions, having emotional intelligence. Please don't pay attention to anyone who tells you to ignore how you feel, because it's just not going to serve you. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for you. It's not fair to you. And you'll be on a struggle bus this way. Like, you'll be feeling bad, don't even know why, don't want to know why, afraid to know why, or worse, lying to your own self, telling yourself you're okay, telling other people you're okay, and it's all over your face though. Okay, we can feel your whole energy. But a lot of people are grappling with their own emotions or state of being that they can't even help anyone else because they haven't dealt with themselves. So you got to take care of yourself first. Now you're in a position to be there for somebody else, right? So take care of your mental health, understand your emotions, don't vilify them, express them, release them, and tap into higher vibrations. I'm sending you so much love and power and healing on your journey. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.